Uko Fiti.
Kweli uongo. So they are different. So wote ni taya.
You're basically proving my point, which is you can't actually compare the relationship.
No,
a man and a woman and a
push
man
back na hii metaphor yake. How people can use your words.
Okay, now let me steer this conversation to things that can actually help us.
Let's go forward. Umekuja na metaphor ni
lakini umeelewa?
I've already seeded I understand the metaphor.
You understood?
But also given there.
You understood?
Yes, that okay. I can also use your metaphor to nini man.
You understood the metaphor?
Yes, how many yeses do you
no,
need? Yes, times 1 million. Now, anytime you say you understood this, yes.
So I had a question.
Yes.
Because you were talking about men also being victims of violence.
Yes.
And the perception that they can't be victims of violence.
Yes.
I'd like to know where that perception comes from, according to you, because I think I have what I think to be true of where I think the perception that men can't be victims comes from, or men can't do things like report that they have been abused or something like that. I'd like to know, where do you think that attitude that shaped all of these men can't be victims came from?
So, number one is, if you already put men in the perpetrator box, it's very hard now to imagine them also being in the victim box, right? And when I'm saying this, I don't mean that this person who has been violated cannot also have perpetrated violence or another type of violence. So, like a man and a woman can be in two boxes at the same time, right? So that does not mean that just because you are in one, you cannot be in the other. You can be in one in this situation, or you can even be in both in the same situation, because a situation starts somewhere and escalates. So depending na where you are cutting it from is when probably anaweza kwa moja. But if you take it like nini, anaweza kwa both ama anaweza kwa moja. So there is that possibility.
So for you, it is
moja.
The fact
that's
that
one.
There is an overriding perception that men have been perpetrators.
Yes, so that's one.
Now people can't see them as victims.
Yeah,
do you
so that's
think?
One.
Okay.
Ni mingi.
Oh, now Lisa, still connected to that.
Yes.
Do you think if we had a conversation where we made it clear that, hey, when we are talking about people, perpetrators of violence, it's not just
gender specific. It's not gender specific.
No.
Yes.
But we know that one, say 4 out of 5 perpetrators need men, right?
Yes.
What do you think the conversation should be to make sure it comes from 4 to 5 to 0 out of 5? How should that conversation look like?
So just to be clear, so no derail tulikuwa tunaongea so.
No, but iko connected, no?
Yeah, it's a bit
no,
connected.
but then now you see nilikuwa on one train of thought, nimekuja kwa different train of thought, but
it is connected.
It is connected, but it is ni kama vile unaweza kusema.
You can just answer mine first.
Yeah, you can. Okay,
exhaust pipe iko connected kwa engine, but
unaona mahali iko.
Unaona kwenye iko exhaust pipe iko kwa nyuma.
It's okay.
Now,
at least
that is one.
Let's move on.
The second one is, of course, the man himself. Sawa? His perception of himself. And this perception of himself could be an environmental thing in terms of what we call the socialization. Okay. It could also be his own image of himself. Like, let's say I go to the gym, mimi ni mtu mkubwa, and then somebody like her does something to me. Unaona? So in my head, I might be like, I first of all, I can't believe it may happen. Sawa?
Yeah.
And then now let's now imagine, if I can't believe, how will another person believe that Mora amenifanyia? Umeget? So that could be also something else. Na nimeleta story ya socialization hapo ndani.
So just to give it a different dimension.
Anaweza jibu swali yangu kwanza.
Pardon?
Unaweza jibu swali yangu kwanza?
Wewe uliingia katikati ya maswali. Wewe yako ni JC. Sija kujibu, nitakujibu. I hope umeandika.
Have you written? Utakumbuka.
Write it down, because tunaweza tukasonga tukuje tuweze kuuliza swali liko inakaa.
Sasa hizo ni.
So that's do you have a question on that one, then I go.
Kwa nini mnanitoa kwa conversation?
Ngoja, kwa umeleta story ya kando.
Uko Fiti, Uko Fiti, bro. Uko Fiti, Uko Fiti, sis, Uko Fiti. important